Okay, Beast Below. Actually, a pretty good story. Not sort of a bit of a different from other scripts Stephen Moffat's written. I think, where to start? Ooh, aesthetics. Like the visual style. Honestly, actually reminded me a bit of Bioshock, which sort of had a similar sort of Art Deco feel and a lot of creepy stuff in that. Well, I mean, Starship UK was in a lot of considerably better condition than Rapture, but still, sort of a bit Bioshock-esque in some ways. Well, Bioshock is about set in a city built by a madman trying to create government based on, well, essentially based on Ayn Rand's philosophy. Okay, back to the story. Back to the actual episode. Let's see. Now, story. Now, I was wondering when Stephen Moffat would actually make another throwing reference to the Doctor being the last of the Time Lords, when Amy would find that out. And I think it worked well, because it seemed like he's still coping, but he's certainly, I think, on better terms with that than Christopher Eccleston's Doctor or David Tennant's, which makes sense. Logical progression. For time, he'd overcome that survivor's guilt, which, I mean, sure. I mean, probably his actions in the end of time probably had something to do with that. Now, story was sort of interesting because it wasn't so much the typical horror type thing people commonly associate with Stephen Moffat's scripts. I mean, definitely not Girl in the Fireplace or 11th Hour. Those weren't really scary. Actually, Prisoner's Era was, but let's see. Look at his two-parters or Blink. Those were definitely scary. This one, sure, Smilers were kind of creepy, but wasn't really the focus. Like, first of all, there was Amy understanding the Doctor as he stated, which sort of interesting, like, and also the whole moral dilemma and sort of this horrifying truth thing, sort of like Planet of the Ood, one of my favorites from Series 4. Actually, just combined with the moral dilemma, also reminded me a bit of another one of my favorites from Series 4, Fires of Pompeii. Like, because the Doctor believes that he has to make a choice and either find best of three options: either kill the star whale, which is the last of its kind, like him, let all the people on Starship UK die by releasing it, or find some way to make it not feel as it's being tortured. Of course, he turns out to be wrong, and releasing it actually turns out to be beneficial for everyone. But still, that's the choice there. Plus, I mean, I was also wondering when we'd see that sort of Doctor really sort of show his anger and rage. I mean, honestly, it reminded me a bit of the Fourth Doctor in the Pirate Planet. Now that was scary. Like, let me think how to put it. I mean, honestly, I think it worked well because we don't know how often this Doctor's going to get angry, like proper anger. Because so I think if it's something that's not really that frequent or common, it's going to mean more when it happens. So, I mean, I'm hoping Stephen Moffat is able to, and the other writers too are able to balance out that mix between anger and calm. I mean, so far, 11th Doctor has seemed pretty calm in comparison to the 10th. I mean, like compare the 11th Hour when he has to attract if the planet's protected, and then says, just basically run. Compare that to the 10th Doctor in Christmas Invasion and his confrontation with the Sycorax. Completely different tone, but basically essentially the same message. Now, overall, I think it's an interesting thing with Amy. I mean, honestly, she nearly became the second companion to get the boot after Adam in Series 1. Still, I think think, like Donna, she's able to prove the Doctor wrong at times, like, which is good. I mean, this is it's probably one of the things I really liked about Donna, is how she wasn't afraid to question the Doctor, and, well, neither is Amy, which is from liking, and at the same time, Steve Moffat seems to be able to do that without making it seem like a bit of a cliche, which is good. Overall, I enjoyed this episode. I mean, a bit different, not quite what you'd expect. I mean, so yeah, don't expect the review for Victory of the Daleks for another 3 weeks or so, because, well, after this I'll be watching them episodes as they air in Canada, not in the UK. But I will be posting, but next week I will be posting further thoughts on the 11th Hour, and after that, and the week after that, further thoughts on this episode. So, Zalconium signing off, and see you next week.